liberal ladies into giving a lot of money because they can invent a boogeyman, well, then they're going to do it because these are people without principle. Essentially, people of the left in America have to lie about what their agenda really is because America is a right-of-center country, and if they told America that we really think Karl Marx was cool, well, they wouldn't even get a second sentence out of their mouth before people took care of them. So they have to come and invent things that we ought to be against, and they appeal to the basic decency of Americans, that Americans are not racist, but, oh, well, the people that are not socialists are racist, so you've got to get rid of them. And so that's the mind fake that they're up to.
That's exactly the point. They're not, they know that whatever they say about you and me, it's like water off a duck's back, you know. I know what I am. I know what I really am. I know what my agenda is. I know I've never harmed anybody. I've never advocated violence, you know. But this is an attack on the average person that goes to the tea parties. I mean, I'm putting out an article here, and I'm going to send that to you and everybody else on my list, any people that have been on my guest. I mean, you know, they're trying to accuse us of being racist and anti-Semitic, and somebody that you and I both know here, Aaron Zellman, the founder of the director of Jews for the Preservation of Firearms Ownership, he steps up to the plate and says it's called playing the race card or the anti-Semite card. You can bet it will surface more and more as elections grow closer. You know,
that's exactly right.
The NAACP, that Aaron Zellman, who happens to be Jewish, says the NAACP is filled with liars. The leadership of the NAACP continues to display a disgusting and dangerous level of blatant hypocrisy and deceit. The NAACP claims it stands for equality, but has for decades been in the forefront of policy and legislation to make African Americans, as well as all other Americans, second-class citizens. The NAACP also brims with hypocrites. Now, when Aaron Zellman and you and I are saying basically the same things here, you know, I don't see any anti-Semitism or racism here. And 3 of my last guests over in the last 2 months have been wonderful black men. Pastor Manning in New York, that in Harlem, that held a trial for Obama, and does a radio show. So this group that put this report out is let's see, they say they got you here. LarryPratt of Virginia is a member of 2 different national Tea Party networks. The Tea Party Nation, 1776. He's been promoting the gun and militia movement for years. And in 1992, spoke at a Colorado meeting of Aryan Nation leaders, former Ku Klux Klansmen, and adherents of so-called Christian identity, a doctrine in which the Jews are considered satanic and people of color are referred to as mud people.
Well, this is the kind of thing that these folks have to resort to because they can't deal with our arguments. They can't come out openly and say, we're a bunch of Marxists. We think that we know better than you. We think that we ought to be able to control a huge government power that can force you to do things that we understand you don't want to do, but you're too stupid to know what you should want to do. And so this is the card that they throw out when they're losing an argument because they know the American people don't buy Marxism. And so they want to label everybody that they don't agree with a racist. Personally, I'd be very happy to have them come and discuss it with me at the Hispanic Bible study that my Panamanian wife and I formed years ago. And they can talk to us about all these issues. Of course, they'll have to be able to do it in Spanish when they're doing that. But you know, if that's what they think racists do, then y'all come on.
Yeah, they're accusing the people in the Tea Party, and they're trying to do this to make the people in the Tea Party afraid to come to the Tea Party because they'll be labeled racist. This is standard. This is standard Soviet psycho-political activity here.
That's exactly right. The Soviets resorted to that kind of hyperbole and were really lying a description of their enemies, the same as did the Nazis, the same as the followers of Mussolini. This is right out of the playbook of the totalitarian who knows that people don't want a total control of their life by some dimwit drone in the government, so they have to invent an enemy. And oh well, yeah, we have to come together to fight that enemy. And they're hoping that we're going to fall for that. That's the best they can do. So, okay, that's the best they can do, but it's not very good.
You know, I mean, that's exactly what they've done. What you just described is what they did with the Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda doesn't exist. They didn't find any Al-Qaeda emplacements in Afghanistan. They didn't find a lot of minerals, though. I mean, they got a lot of gold and silver and other like billions of dollars worth of valuable minerals they've just discovered in Afghanistan. Convenient, huh?
Well, the fact is that Islam is an expansionist ideology. For 1,400 years, they've been picking fights with anybody that is not like them. Muhammad was a treacherous killer in the Arabian Peninsula, and within 150 years of his death, they completely conquered the Mediterranean basin, and they would have kept on going throughout Europe had not the mayor of Paris, Charles Martel, stopped him in the Battle of Tours in something like 722, 732, and it took the poor Spaniards 800 years to push them back and get them out of the Iberian Peninsula. The Sicilians suffered under them for years. So, you have to admit that Islam is a nasty, nasty worldview that says I'm justified in killing you if you don't agree exactly with me. There's no due process. I can issue a fatwa, a religious order, to say take him out, and then there's no judge or jury needed. We just go and start killing. And so President Jefferson had to send the Marines to Tripoli. The Marine hymn has from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli.
Yes, sir.
Well, they were in Tripoli because the Mediterranean Muslim bandits were kidnapping people from American ships and holding them for ransom, and it was becoming a significant part of our national budget. And so the account goes that Jefferson was at a meeting of some diplomats, and he asked a Muslim ambassador, why are those bandits doing that over there in the Mediterranean? Well, that's what we believe. That's what our book teaches. So he went and got a copy of the Quran and read it and realized, oh, these guys are at war with everybody. The Quran's a declaration of war. So he sent the Navy with the Marines on it to tell the Sultan of Tripoli, you either release that hostage or you're dead. And that's the way we need to deal with these bums today.
I agree with that. They unfortunately they are protected by our Constitution. The Constitution says they can worship any way they want, and I've said if you want to stick your nose down there in the dirt, stick your ass up in the air, and pray to Mecca. The Constitution allows you to do that. Just don't try to get me to do the same thing. It ain't gonna happen.
And once you start forcing people to do things, once you start trying to impose Sharia Muslim law within the United States, reset. You're out of here. Goodbye. You're in jail. Because Sharia law is a Muslim man can do just about anything he wants. The woman is about the same level as a cow, and even other men that don't agree with whatever the imam says are in danger. This is really a very nasty, aggressive ideology posing as a religion, and we kid ourselves if we think that we can somehow ignore what these guys are doing.